Project management system. No. This project is a passion project, right? So there is not a deadline or something generally. So if I wanted to just stop working on this because it is boring or annoying or whatever, I could just do that, right? There's no deadlines, whatever. I did set myself deadlines before, but the problem is that this system is so large that if you actually do a real project management and you do like daily tasks and you put them all into a system like what's it called again? I forgot the name. Tracker. I just call it Tracker. It's Bitbucket and Jira. If you put them all in Jira, then I would have like 2,500 to-dos or whatever, right? And then rough estimate, it would take me like, okay, 3 years. So then you don't really start working at all. And it's really, really demotivating if you know that amount of time is necessary to even get this running in a state that I would like, right? So I stopped doing that because of that, because it was pretty demotivating to have that knowledge always in your back. Oh yeah, this is gonna easily take 3 years, right? So, well, shit. So I started working differently because motivation is the main thing that is necessary for this, right? Because it's a passion project, it has to be fun for me to develop. So number one goal is I need to have fun, or it needs to be interesting while I do this, right? And I want to solve problems that are interesting to me. So that is the number one driver. I just implement features that are currently fun or necessary. Sometimes they're obviously not fun. But then if I get bored of a specific part, for example, that happened 2 or 3 times with the screen because there were pretty huge problems that needed to be solved. And I knew that this would take a long time to solve. So I just stopped working on a specific feature for 1, 2, 3 weeks, do something else in the system, and then I go back to the previous problem, and then it's okay again, and I can work on that again. And that's what I've been doing, and this is why I can stay working on this basically forever. Compared to if I would just power through a given problem, it would just be really, really annoying. I would lose interest. I would do something else. I would start playing games and so on, right? So that's a pretty big thing for me, at least, to be able to do that. And for that, it's necessary to not very specifically know what has to be done. This is also why in larger projects, you need project managers and stuff, right? This is why you give people only smaller tasks. And then the project manager most likely is not implementing that much stuff, but just having a general overview of the whole system, right? And then other people are doing that work, right? So it's not a burden only on that specific person. The project manager is not then the one that needs to do 500,000 tasks still. And then this also works, right? Because work is being done, even though you personally are not working. So that is a very different feeling. But in this project, any to-do that I create and put into Jira, I'm the one that needs to do it, right? So that makes it, that kills your brain, basically. So I think it's a very, very bad idea to plan out something very fine and detailed if you're working on something on your own. That's pretty bad for your health, I think. Except maybe in the very beginning to decide generally if you want to start the project at all, right? There you should probably do it once and make sure that, okay, this is not 1 month, this is more like a year, right? Or maybe 2, right? But it's not 1 or 2 months, it's 1 or 2 years. And do I really want to do this? Right? And then you can decide, and then the finer details shouldn't matter anymore after that, I think. But I cannot maintain motivation level as you seem to be doing. The question is, do you have the advantages that I have, right? I have the advantage that I have people actively waiting for this to be finished, right? And you guys in the chat thinking the project is cool and watching and wanting to know what the status is and when can I finally play and so on, right? This is a very, very big motivator. Don't underestimate that. If you don't have that, if you're just doing a project because you think it's cool and then hopefully someday it's going to finish and then people are going to use it, right? But you do not have the sure knowledge of, yeah, people find this really cool, then this is a lot more difficult. And my thing here is that I had a server running. I know that people like this anyway, right? So I know that as soon as I start a server, people want to play on this. It's just then a question of how many people in the end would want to play this, right? But definitely a lot of people will try it out. So that's a large part of motivation. Because I built a system already, and I'm now building better solutions to the similar problems from back then. So I know that, people would like this really much, right? That helps a lot. But yeah,